Minasan konnichiwa, this is Tina and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing the best skincare of 2023. If that sounds like your thing, then please go ahead and channel登録しちゃってください。しちゃいなよ. So I did do this last year as well, but for those people who do not want to sit through like 5 to 6 videos of 20 something minutes, I have selected the #1 top pick of each product category within skincare and compiled it into this one video. So you can just watch this one to know my top pick of each category. If you like this video and end up wanting to see the other picks of each product category, I will make sure to link all of the videos in the description so you can see them in full detail and yeah, have a few more options than the one I've chosen in this video. Before we get started, my skin type is dry and dehydrated, and the general climate that I live in is on the drier side of things, being Melbourne, Australia. Well, I think that's it. So let's see what my top picks for 2023 were. The best cleansing oil of this year, and it is the Anua Heartleaf Pore Control Cleansing Oil. Honestly, there are like so many good cleansing oils these days. I feel like it's harder to find a bad one, if that makes sense. There's a few other ones that I wanted to include in this video, but I did choose the Anua one just because it does include that Heartleaf ingredient that is calming and soothing to the skin, which I feel like the other ones didn't have. Heartleaf or Petunia cordata is one of my favorite ingredients that are calming to the skin. The main oil ingredients in this one is sunflower seed, macadamia seed, olive fruit, jojoba seed, and grapeseed oil. The other thing I love about this oil is how liquidy it is. I feel like we used to have a lot more thicker kind of gluggy cleansing oils, but cleansing oils these days are so lightweight that even those who are afraid of using oil on your face, like especially if you have oily skin, you don't have to worry because they are so lightweight and feel fresh even after cleansing. This one, I mean, all cleansing oils will help, but this one is also supposed to help with your pores, to cleanse them deeply. So it'll help with blackheads, whiteheads, and just overall cleansing of your pores and make them seem smoother. I have used this one a lot to do like a deep cleanse massage, and it's helped to kind of get rid of those clogged pores as well. It's just one that I have been reaching consistently this year. Right, now we're going to move on to second step cleansers or water-based cleansers. The Minon Amino Moist Gentle Wash Whip. This was another one I purchased during my first trip to Japan this year, and I pretty much used it up while I was there. I mean, both me and Logan, my partner, were using it. It was such a good, simple, reliable cleanser for when I was traveling and when my skin was feeling really irritated. Whenever I travel, my skin, I'm sure you guys are the same, but my skin does tend to get a little unstable. It gets irritated very easily because we're on a different schedule, we're sleep deprived, we're exhausted, probably eating differently than we usually would. And this was just a no-brainer. I could use it anytime, any day, no matter what my skin condition was. And it is also self-foaming, which made it super easy. So even if you're short on time or you're feeling lazy during your trip, it was just, it is empty. But it was, there's bubbles in the air. But it was just so easy on those days where I didn't want to bother like foaming up my cleanser. I also did use it during the time I had a pretty severe allergic reaction to a skincare ingredient, which I knew I was allergic to, and I failed to completely check an ingredients list of a product, but I'm allergic to tomato oil and I got a pretty severe allergic reaction. But I was using this cleanser during that time. Even if my skin was irritated, itchy, red, inflamed, this did not bother it whatsoever, didn't sting, and it did cleanse my skin very gently. Minon is one of the most popular Japanese drugstore brands that specifically are catered to sensitive skin. So they use really simple, gentle ingredients like amino acids, glycerin, a lot of the basic stuff, but it does work, especially for sensitive skin. So yeah, if you want a quick and easy way to cleanse very gently, highly, highly recommend. With an absolute banger, the Cosrx Propolis Synergy Toner. This was the one full-size toner that I took during my trip to the US. I was there for about a month, so I knew I needed at least one like solid toner, and thinking of it now, it was a bit of a risk taking a toner that I had not tried prior to that, but I absolutely fell in love. I was using it morning and night every day for about a month. We were staying in Florida, which obviously is warmer compared to a lot of other areas, especially in December, yet this never felt too heavy. It does have a slightly viscous texture, so you feel like it might feel sticky or heavy on the skin, but it gives such a nice glow, it gives hydration, it gives plumping, it does give instant glass skin. Even then, like when you look at it online and stuff, the product description does say it is most recommended for those who have oily, combo, or even breakout prone skin, because the main ingredient is that Propolis extract. So it includes 72.6% of Propolis extract, which is known to be an antibacterial and an anti-inflammatory. So it's going to help fight off that acne bacteria, but also help to soothe it as well. I was using it every day, as well as my partner Logan, who does have oilier skin than me, but we both enjoyed it very, very much. And even from then, like even from a year ago, I was like, you know what? I know this is going to make my best of toners list, because it was that instantaneous that I fell in love with it. It is my personal favorite brightening serum pick of this year, and it is the Klairs Freshly Juiced Vitamin Charging Serum. I actually did go through 2 bottles. One of them still has a little bit, but we are almost empty because it was a really, really easy serum for me to use. The first freshly juiced serum included 5% ascorbic acid, whereas this one includes 10% of 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid, which is a vitamin C derivative. So it's still going to help brighten and have all of those benefits, although it is less possible to irritate the skin. It doesn't oxidize as easy, doesn't have that distinct vitamin C smell, and it doesn't feel like as sticky or oily like on the skin. It has a very nice sleek packaging, pump bottle. It is also like an airtight container, so you do get every last drop out of it, and the texture is somewhere in between a gel and fluid. It's really quite liquidy, but it's not water thin, but it's also not oily, and it really does kind of glide and absorb easily on the skin. It does also work as a hydrating serum, since it does have beta glucan in it, as well as a soothing serum because it does have Centella asiatica. So it's kind of like an all-rounder serum which focuses on evening out your skin tone. It was the only serum this year that I went through more than 1 bottle of, and I will happily continue to use it. Starting off with sheet masks, one that I fell in love with pretty much as soon as I started using it, and it is the Lululun Precious Green Balance Sheet Mask. I'm pretty sure this is like my 3rd pouch of these this year, and this one pouch includes 7 sheet masks. Now they do have a bigger version, the box that has like I think about 30 sheet masks, which probably would make more sense for me to get, but 30 is a lot, and I feel like I don't usually get through big bulk ones that quickly. So this this 7 sheet pouch is kind of like a good one where I feel like I can get through it in a good amount of time. So Lululun is probably one of like top 2 most well-known brands in Japan when it comes to sheet masks. This green precious one specifically is I think like one of their top 3 best-selling products of all time, and Lululun do have many products, so for it to be in the top 3 is like pretty impressive because there are just so many options to choose from. So why I like this one is because it is their balance type, which in Japan, balance usually means something to retain a healthy skin environment, if that makes sense. It means to hydrate, moisturize, but also to help prevent breakouts and keep your skin at like a healthy state. So that's what balance usually stands for. This one includes ingredients like ceramides, beta glucan, peptides, all amazing ingredients that I personally love, that's going to help moisturize and help that skin barrier as well. And then they also have their patented ingredient called L22, which is a blend of ingredients. It's got like jojoba, squalane, other like just skin loving ingredients, and it's supposed to mimic most ideal oil balance of a 22-year-old. That's why it's called L22, which is very interesting, very specific, and it is also free from colorants, fragrance, mineral oil, and alcohol. So this one I would choose to use when I want a little bit of extra something. Other sheet masks that I love love from Japan are Saborino, which are great, especially when you're short on time or in the morning, but they are pretty fresh on the skin, whereas this one has a bit more nourishment. The sheet itself is fairly basic, but it is on the thicker side and it definitely soaks in a lot of that essence. The fit is like, it's fine. It's nothing like super extremely good, but not bad either. For the price, it is definitely a really, really good high quality mask, one that I did repeat purchasing and using this year. Next, I think we'll talk about eye cream. The HaruHaru Wonder Black Rice Bakuchiol eye cream. Beautifully textured eye cream that is plenty nourishment for nighttime, yet it is still light enough to wear during the day. I mean, I have still been wearing the Tokopo one mainly, so this one has been my kind of go-to night eye cream, and it has just so many wonderful ingredients. So it has that fermented black rice extract, which is an antioxidant. It has bakuchiol in it. It also has centella to soothe the skin. It has natto gum, which is supposed to be like a plant-based collagen, so it helps with skin elasticity. It also has niacinamide, which we know is basically good for everything, and then also adenosine, which helps with well aging, slow aging, all of that. The packaging is very sleek. It also has a pump, even though it is a tube, and just one squeeze is like the perfect amount of product, so you don't have to worry about like how much you're squeezing out. Everything you ever want in an eye cream. Easily my new favorite lip balm pick of this year, and it is the Nivea Deep Moisture Melty type. So Melty type is the important part for this one. So you guys should know that I love the regular Nivea Deep Moisture and have for years now. I discovered it when I was living in Japan, so over 5 years ago I discovered the Nivea Deep Moisture and I was in love with it. About a year ago they came out with this Melty type, so it's essentially the same but meltier. I mean, obviously that's what the name says. A bit more glossy, a bit more balmy, and I absolutely love it. I must say I love it even more than the original one, and I bought so many backups when I went to Japan. I don't know how many I've got left now. I think I've already been through about 3 or 4 of them this year. How many do we have left? Do I only have 1 left? Oh my god. I only have 1 backup left. How did I not buy more when I was in Japan this time? I think I thought I had way more than I actually had. So this is my favorite one, the honey that's in the yellow packaging. This one is the olive and lemon flavor, which is fine. I actually really enjoy the fragrance, but the taste is kind of interesting. Whereas the honey one, I feel like you can smell the honey, but you can't actually taste anything. So I definitely do prefer this one. And the way you can tell the melty type is that it has this like meltiness on the packaging. Easily my favorite lip balm this year, like easily. Although my best friend in Japan, because she always used the regular Nivea Deep Moisture as well, and I asked her, I was like, isn't the melty type the best? And she was like, no, it's too melty. So obviously it's personal preference. She doesn't like the melty type. She likes the original one better. If you go to Japan, please stock up because they're the best in my opinion. One Japanese moisturizer that I have been loving for my mornings this year, and it is the Minon Amino Moist Charge Milk. So this product is very, very well known in Japan, and it has been winning awards since 2015 and officially was like inducted into the Hall of Fame for beauty products in 2018. I believe it is Minon's best-selling product, which Minon is a drugstore brand in Japan that caters specifically to those who have sensitive skin. So they're free from a lot of irritants and a very, very simple ingredients list. The main feature of this one is that it includes 11 types of amino acids, which help in healing that skin barrier and to promote just like a overall healthy skin environment. So this moisturizer is an emulsion type moisturizer, which basically is a milk type, lotion type, kind of a lightweight form of a moisturizer that is really, really popular and common in Japan. A lot of brands don't even do like a cream moisturizer. They will just have a emulsion, also known as nueki in Japan. And I do love using them, especially in the morning, since they do have more of a lightweight feel compared to other kind of cream moisturizers. And it also works beautifully underneath makeup because it does have that light consistency. The thing I did like about this one compared to other emulsions that I've even tried from Japan is its texture. When it first comes runs out, as you can see. I'm almost out of it. I've got a backup coming in the mail. It is actually quite like solid. It doesn't run down. A lot of emulsions do tend to be a bit more lotiony, so will run down your skin if you apply it like this, but this one is quite solid, so it has that body to it, yet it is so lightweight, creamy, and absorbs into the skin so well. So I've been using it for about a month or so during the springtime, and it was that perfect kind of in between something too lightweight like a gel cream versus a heavy cream. And then I went to Japan, which I did not take this with me, and by the time I came back from Japan, Logan, my partner, had essentially finished this off by himself. Like, he loved it so much. It was obviously in a pump, so really easy for him to use, and he said he was using it non-stop in the morning, and it was like, is it okay if I finish this? I was like, I mean, I'm gonna include it in a best of video, but it's okay. I got a backup, as I said, because it has been a beautiful moisturizer for the daytime. It doesn't really have any other fancy ingredients. It's just amino acids and your basics like glycerin and that, but I still very much enjoyed it, and as I said, such a good prep before makeup. Next, I know this moisturizer is already loved by so many people, and now including myself, and it is the Aestura Atobarrier 365 cream. I know this has an absolute cult following in Korea, and after I used it, like, I get it. It is a beautiful moisturizer. I personally started using it during the winter time in Australia, which would have been like 6 months ago. A light enough texture that it doesn't feel heavy on the skin, but it does really feel nourishing. And if you have seen the formula, this is another one that I have a backup of coming because I kind of used it up before I filmed my best of videos. But if you see the texture of it, it actually has these tiny little dots, which is basically an encapsulated formula, which helps to keep the ingredients fresh and to also kind of time release it onto your skin when you are applying. So that's something that's definitely unique about this moisturizer, which I feel like you don't always find, is that encapsulated formula. And that formula includes ceramides as well as cholesterol and fatty acids, which actually help to increase the absorption of that ceramide by 80%. So it's got all of those ingredients that are really going to protect your skin and to help heal that skin barrier. Although I will say the pricing of this moisturizer is probably a little bit more expensive compared to the others that I have selected in this video. It is, although, a fairly generous 80 ml size. So this one I would recommend the most for normal to dry skin types. It's definitely the one I used the most this past year. I have been through 2 whole tubes and onto my 3rd tube, which I have not done with any sunscreen or any other product, really, possibly. The Pore Calm Water Barrier Sun Cream. So as I just mentioned, I am now onto my 3rd tube of the Pore Calm sunscreen. I first started using it around April from memory. So in what, 8 months or so, I am now onto my 3rd tube, and I did take it with me on all my trips, I'm pretty sure. I went to Japan twice and then America last year, and I did always take this sunscreen because it's just so fuss free for me. It is a great moisturizing sunscreen, but isn't overly greasy, isn't overly dewy, but for my skin, it's just like the perfect amount of moisture. And basically, no matter what season I was in, I felt confident in wearing this one without it being too like drying or too heavy. The featured ingredients on this one is Cape aloe, ceramide, and pea and glutathione. So that's going to be soothing, brightening, and also help to strengthen that skin barrier as well. This one does have what, like a light essence gel type texture, I would describe it, and it is the easiest thing to blend. Like, literally it blends out so easily. It doesn't have any white cast. It has this slightly dewy finish. I would actually say it's probably the dewiest out of my selection today. So this is like top level dewiness, and even then it's not like super crazy shiny dewy like some other sunscreens are. So I personally like that little bit of dew. Since I do have drier skin, I always want to look a little bit glowy rather than like matte. But if you do like a sunscreen that is hydrating and moisturizing and gives you like a bit of a natural glow, I can highly recommend this one. I feel like people who have normal, dry and combo skin will like it best. I mean, I might be slightly biased in liking this one the best because I did release a box with Pore Calm which included this sunscreen, which by the way is still available. We're not going to do any extra stock on it, but we do still have a little bit left. So if you have been curious or you've been wanting to try this sunscreen out along with my absolute holy grail moisturizer, the box is still available. So I'll leave that in the link below too. Well, that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the kind of compilation video of my top #1 pick from each product category. As I said, once again, you can see the full videos in its full form through the description, so make sure you check those out if you are interested, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Mwah!